Welcome back, guys. Tactical AV here. One of the things I'd like to do is show YouTube a comparison between the Spectrum Ultra Speed high-speed internet and Wi-Fi versus AT&T's fiber internet services. Let's take a look quickly. Alright, so here's one of the family rooms that actually serves as the hub and really the only location in the home where the fiber is entering the house from the pole. So I'll briefly explain the process here and what items are needed, as I'd like to do an internet speed test, sort of compare the services, so on and so forth, and, well, more or less review it over time and, well, see if it's really worth it. Now remember, one of the most important aspects of this is simply the fact that AT&T's fiber service isn't exactly available in every area. So essentially what you're getting is we've got a modem and router here and a wireless access point. But really what makes the difference is the fiber coming into the home to the box here and then being converted into copper and then fed through the Cat 7 or Cat 6E cables, two different devices from there on out, and Wi-Fi picking it up on either the 5 gigahertz network or the 2.4 gig network. So to get a better understanding here, we've got these Keystone boxes installed and faceplates installed with the Ethernet jacks right here, essentially for a direct wired connection, which is, well, where I would prefer this box to be in a dedicated home theater room if you were to have such a desire or need for one. So one of the things I'll point out right off the bat is that this is the only location in the house where any of this has to be, essentially with Spectrum and Time Warner, Comcast, Xfinity, so on and so forth. Multiple areas in the home either need to have a coax cable running into it if you'd like to have cable television service with a cable box, and or Ethernet cables for hardwiring for, well, the faster speeds. With the AT&T fiber network, what I've noticed so far, as opposed to the generic AT&T copper-fed service, is, well, we're sitting on an average of about 1,000 meg or more a second, which turns out to be about a gig per second. And, well, for those of you that are aware, AT&T utilizes a Wi-Fi service to feed their cable boxes from the modem and router. So essentially, we have a hardwired Ethernet cable going into this box per se, because we're at the fiber box behind here, HDMI and then power. That's essentially the only cable connections or hookups that we've got. It's just a basic, yeah, I know, sound bar here. However, this isn't the main movie watching area in the home here. But if you notice here in like a kitchen setup, for example, these are the wireless TV receivers. So this is picking up information off the Wi-Fi network, essentially. It's running off of that, and it's just plugged into the AC outlet here. So there's no need for any coax cable connections or anything else. All you're doing is giving power to the cable box and then essentially connecting it to whatever display or TV you have at that point. Obviously, big advantage is faster speeds and really extended range of the Wi-Fi and the smart Wi-Fi service that AT&T does offer nowadays. But like I said, that's really dependent on the area, so not all homes are able to essentially get this fiber service, and it depends on where the fiber really cuts off in the home as well. So I'll definitely be doing a lot more videos on this, comparing the AT&T fiber service to the Spectrum Ultra 940 gig service in two different households in a similar area. However, if you just notice, we have multiple setups in this home here, with just essentially some of them being the wireless receiver boxes and some of them being, well, hardwired and fed with an Ethernet cable. Now, if we were to look back here at this connection in this room, we will notice that, well, we do have an Ethernet cable running through the wall right there. So there are certain points in the house at which we've kind of already had that configuration set up, and we weren't going to go ahead and just utilize Wi-Fi or wireless when we already had a Cat 6E cable or an Ethernet cable previously installed. So as opposed to needing a coax cable ran to just about every cable box where we wanted one, we're no longer having to do that. Now, at the same time, we no longer have to run Ethernet cables either, but certain people choose to do so, and, well, others choose not to. One main big advantage is not having the coax cable, but also keep in mind this AT&T fiber service differentiates between services and areas, but essentially no need for any splitters, coax cables, or really any other wiring, as opposed to some other brands that I know. But to simplify things, essentially you've got fiber coming through the pole up to the home, directly fiber coming into the house, and then being ran by that box and distributed to copper from there. Now, it would essentially be impossible to have fiber running into your devices because, well, the devices simply aren't capable of determining or deciphering a fiber signal like that. It has to then be converted into copper and then picked up by something like an RJ45 Ethernet cable. Which essentially also gives us several benefits for music listening as well, especially if you're using something like the internet radio, Pandora, streaming Tidal, or Spotify, and other services like that. And I think realistically today in homes or larger homes that are, say, over 5,000 square feet, so on and so forth, and that have multiple wireless and Wi-Fi functioning devices, so on and, are benefiting from fiber today, considering that, well, most people aren't even considering phone lines anymore, landlines. So if we simply do a speed test right here from a direct Ethernet connected desktop computer, I'd love to compare both Spectrum's Ultra 940 meg service versus AT&T's Smart Wi-Fi fiber service. The speed test I like to run specifically from a desktop computer is by the Ookla. And I'm going to go ahead and hit go. With over 20 meg upload speed, which is actually pretty phenomenal. So on a 2G Wi-Fi wireless connection, we're picking up a pretty low download speed. However, the upload speed is actually quite close, matching the download speed, which is unheard of. So I'll be bringing more back from you guys, and I'd love to compare both services. However, just a quick sample as to what's coming in the near future from this channel. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.